So last time we talked to you, you said you used the phrase, I think it was backs against the wall for Hunter and JK. How do you hope to kind of foster that competition here over the next couple months to really see what you have in those guys?
Well, I tell you, I'm really pleased with their process and the way they came back. They're just honing in on their own internal process, working on themselves, and we're very pleased with what we've seen thus far. As you know, it's a marathon, not a sprint, so they have to bring it every day.
Rob Domofsky.
Hey Mo, how are you?
Good, Rob.
Good. Hey, so when you look at this draft class, who and what jumps out at you as guys that can help on your units right away?
I tell you, this draft class, real excited about it, and in no particular order, but I really love Shamar out of Appalachian State. He has a attitude about teams that I really like. Excuse my phrase, but he has this dog mentality that's kind of infectious. So we like him a lot. Of course, Amari, looking forward to big things out of him. Very smooth athlete, very smart, heady. Eric Stokes, if called upon. He will be ready to play, as well as Kylan Hill. Just pleased with that group.
I'm just wondering, you've gone over the rookies, but with Amari specifically, what do you see on him either from a short sample size in practice or on game tape that makes him an effective return man or potentially in the NFL?
He catches the ball, one. You know, our number one job as a punt returner is to give the ball back to the offense. He has a great idea on how to track a ball. Now, granted, the wind conditions and the elements here in Lambeau and our region will make a play on that. But we have time right now, and he's just doing a good job tracking the ball. His catch point is the same on every catch. His approach to it, he understands the importance of it, and that's what makes him very valuable to us right now as a punt returner, prospective punt returner.
Mark Daniels.
Hey Maurice, how you doing?
Hey, Mark.
Kind of along the lines of what Rob was asking about the draft class, just how you evaluate the rest of the roster and start trying to visualize what types of athletes you're going to have on your units.
So right now, we're in a phase of a lot of drill work. What we're trying to do with some of the techniques and fundamentals I spoke about the first time I was before you, we're putting that into place right now. So in teaching these guys these techniques, we're evaluating what they're doing from that standpoint and what they're able to do, and we will build our concepts around their strengths.
Yeah, Mo, just with regard to the veteran leaders that have been with you in the past, OB, Ty, Will, guys like that, what's going to be the biggest, I guess, transition or adjustment for them to what you want to run and what you want them to do well as you take over here?
Well, once again, it's the little things that we're harping on now. Those were great core teamers for us, but now we're giving them little tricks of the trade or what we call vet moves. When you're tied up, how I can come out of a tie through hand placement, body position, things of that nature. So basically, for those guys who have been with us, now we're putting them in a 301 level class where obviously the rookies and first-time special teams guys, they're 101, 102 level. So giving those guys some what I call vet moves.
Matt Steinman.
Mo, with Joe, he hasn't snapped in a game in, I think, 5 years since when he was at Delaware. What gave you guys the impression, confidence that he could come in here and compete for that job?
So all these snappers and kickers, punters, they're on the circuit, so to speak, once they finish their college eligibility. And we had the opportunity to evaluate him at one of the snapping camps, and he was able to display some traits at that camp that could be transferable to the football field.
Olivia Reiner.
You mentioned the desire to build around the strengths of the group, and I know it's really early, but what are your impressions of what those exact strengths are from the players that you have both returning and coming in for the first time?
Well, we're still in that evaluation phase of what those strengths are. But what I can tell you, I've noticed so far is we will have the ability to free our mind to allow us to play as fast as the good Lord has given us the ability to do that. And we'll do that by understanding the rules, understanding dimensions on the field. A lot of people don't take this approach, but the football field is a rectangle. And because it's a rectangle, it means I'm able to cut people off due to angles and things of that nature. They will understand how to pursue in proper angles and things of that nature. That will help us.
Mo, what are the skills or what were the attributes that you saw from Joe when you were watching him in that camp? I don't know long snapping well enough to understand those. What are they?
Yeah, first and foremost, he's shown the ability to be accurate in the placement of the ball in what we call shorties as well as longies. He did a great job there. And then they had a protection phase where he displayed the ability to protect. Now, it's not the same as protecting on game day or in practice, but from the evaluation phase, he showed some traits that says it will be transferable to the game field, but he's at the end of the day he still has to do it. And you can't count out Hunter. I mean, Hunter's come in here and he's done a great job so far in the couple practices we've had. So it's going to be real interesting. It's far from over.
West Harquist.
Hey, Mo, obviously you were around Vinatieri in Indianapolis and getting a chance to be around Mason the last few years. What do you think it is about Mason specifically that's allowed him to still perform at this level, even, as guys get into those older ages as kickers?
It's one word. It's process. Mason's process, and I won't share his process, but it's process, and it was the same with Adam. It was his process. Now, the processes are different, but it was detailed to them specifically, their bodies, etc. So his process allows him to. He's like a Timex watch. He just keeps on ticking.